angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are joining me for yet another video, and I hope that you are having an absolutely beautiful morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when today's video finally reaches you. And I hope that you are not currently home alone while watching this video, because today we are diving into 3 more terrifying true home alone experiences that will have you looking over your shoulder anytime you're home alone. Now, this video has been so highly requested. We've dove into home alone stories in the past and you guys seem to love them. I can understand why, because you guys know anything to do with being home alone and like creepy people, crazy people in the world freaks me out too. So with that being said, I suggest you sit back, relax, lock your doors, and maybe turn a light on, because this is about to be freaking creepy. All right, let's get into these experiences. So the first one is titled, I See You, and it goes like this. This happened a few years ago, and I haven't been the same since. First, let me just say, I've never been afraid of staying home alone. To be honest, all throughout my teenage years, I preferred when I would have the house to myself, since that meant I could spend as much time as I wanted playing my video games or hanging in my chat rooms. Which, by the way, my parents weren't fond of. This happened the summer before college. Both my parents left for work early every single day. Now, I was part of a bunch of different chat rooms and recently had started talking with this guy who went by the name Crypt Keeper, followed by a ton of numbers and symbols. He was definitely an oddball, though, I would very quickly learn. He kind of came off as a creep, and the more that I wanted to talk to him, the more that I realized I probably shouldn't. He had a very dark imagination, to say the least. I started to engage with him less and less the more that I learned about him, but this just had him writing even more, and even creepier. Again, he was a total creep. Anyways, I'll never forget the day that things went totally south. My parents left early as usual, and I got up and grabbed my laptop. I took it to the kitchen, set it on the counter, and logged into various chats. I remember specifically I was making myself a grilled cheese when Crypt Keeper popped up again. I rolled my eyes. It seemed he was at some sort of a breaking point. He started writing me all of these awful things, begging, actually no, demanding for an answer for the cold shoulder I was giving him. By the time I sat down at my desk to eat my sandwich, he had wrote me an unnerving amount of times. I'd pretty much had enough of this guy and was about to block him when he sent a message that froze me. Grilled cheese. Nice. I started panicking and became paranoid really fast. Your house is nice too, he says. What color are those pillows behind you? Oh, I see. Green. I looked behind me and sure enough, there were 2 green pillows. I honestly freaked out and called 911 because clearly this creep had tracked me down and was outside or something. I later found out though that he'd actually just hacked my computer. And while he did know my address, he was only watching me through my webcam. To this day, I avoid talking to anyone that I don't know. And I still hate the fact that I was home alone. He knew who I was, actually still knows who I am, and where I live, because he is very clearly mentally unstable. Could you imagine being home alone, making yourself a grilled cheese, sitting down, and this guy who's been making you uncomfortable online knows that you're eating a grilled cheese and can actually say the color of the pillows behind you? I don't blame this guy for being creeped out by it. That is absolutely chilling. What the hell? This next one is called The Escapee. Already sounds pretty unsettling. All right, here we go. I was about 12 years old when this happened. It was a Saturday, and my mom gave me the choice between going with her to the market or staying home by myself. I chose what most 12-year-olds would and decided to just stay home. At first, the morning was truly uneventful. I was about to make myself a snack when I heard a loud bang on the door. I ignored it. I was always told to leave the door if I'm home alone and someone's knocking on it. And honestly, I was cool with that. I'm not the most social girl as is. But the banging continued and got louder and louder. It started to freak me out and I didn't know what to do. I tried calling my mom, but she didn't pick up. I knew the market was loud anyway. Eventually, I could hear a woman screaming for help and banging. Because it was a woman, I let my guard down a bit, as she sounded desperate, and against my family's rules, I did open the door. There was a frail-looking woman who seemed terrified. She didn't say anything at first, just looked around and then stared at me, in like an exorcist type way. It was awkward and a long silence. I was about to go back inside when she asked what my name was, so randomly, in a jarring tone. Jade? I told her. I told her my name was Jade. Something changed in her eyes. They suddenly looked sad. What do you need? I asked her. She said water. I went inside and locked the door while I got water. When I came back out, she had a very creepy smile. Her whole demeanor was different. She tilted her head and in a sinister way says, "You're a lucky girl, Jade," and continues to walk away with the water. Later that night, my mom had the news on while she made dinner. I looked up and saw a familiar face. The woman from earlier was plastered everywhere. Turns out she escaped a psychiatric facility and was considered very dangerous, especially towards children. We later found out her daughter's name was Jade. I always wonder if that's why she left me to be unharmed, after everything we learned about her anyways. Either way, I'll never forget how stupid I was to open a door like that and wonder what would have happened had my name not have been Jade. I mean, she did say, "You're a lucky girl, Jade," before she walked away. That would be so creepy. Like, imagine having that experience and then seeing on the news that this girl is not only an escapee, but dangerous. And then realizing that maybe the only reason that you were okay is because your name is also Jade. I need to know what you guys think of that one. This one is called "You Aren't Alone, My Friend." I don't like that title at all. Okay, let's go. These give me the heebie-jeebies, guys. Like, I've told you so much. Like, when it comes to people or like real life things, people breaking in, all of that stuff, it freaks me the heck out. But let's get into this and see why they were not, in fact, alone. This story took place last summer, and I refuse to stay home alone in this house since. My husband Everett and I had just bought our first home together last spring. We both work humble jobs and saved as much as we could to be able to even afford this place in the first place. Honestly, I'm being real. It isn't much, but it was ours, and we were damn well proud of that. The neighborhood our home sits in isn't a bad one by any means, but it also isn't nice either. There's not a lot of crime, but the neighborhood does have families of lower incomes, us included, and there are some addicts around too you have to avoid. We decided to get a big dog since my husband occasionally works late and it would make me feel much safer. But again, only a few months after moving in, it would be the last time I ever stayed home alone. I had just finished eating and was about to put on my favorite show. Everett was working late, so it was just me and Rex. Rex is a pretty chill dog most of the time, unless he's in defense mode, that is. That's important to say. I remember this night, Rex kept looking to the front window and growling. I tried peeking out into the darkness, but I didn't see anything. I was actually getting frustrated with Rex, honestly. I went to get a glass of wine to have before going upstairs, and Rex started freaking out at the window once again. I was mad at this point, so I ran to the window again in the last attempt to see what he's barking about. I didn't see anything though, but for safe measure and out of annoyance, I went and opened the front door to look around and show him, look, there's nobody. It was dark and cold, and I didn't see anything, so I went back inside. I was cold now from going outside, so I grabbed my robe off the back of the kitchen chair and put it on. That's when my phone buzzed. It was a number I didn't recognize. All the text said was, "You didn't see me?" ? My heart sank. I debated not answering, but I really needed to know who was writing this. "Who is this?" I wrote. Another buzz followed quickly. "You aren't alone, my friend." I started panicking and felt like this was some sort of a prank when another message came in before I could think. I liked the robe, by the way. At this point, I was freaked out, made sure all of my doors were locked, and closed all the blinds. I called my husband, crying, who told me that he'd be home soon, but to call the police. Here's the kicker, though. The police came. The police looked around, and they investigated. But that number that had texted me didn't exist. To this day, we don't know who had sent that message or where they were watching me from. But I do know that they saw me while I didn't see them. But I'm convinced Rex did. I want to move out of here ever since, but we can't afford that right now. So in the meantime, I go to a friend or a family member's house anytime I have to be alone. It's annoying, but it makes me feel safe. Someone out there knows my number. and was watching me. And I don't know when they may strike again. So for now, I'll never be home alone. And that's the end. I think one of the most unsettling, terrifying things is imagining that somebody is watching you and you have no idea. There was this one scary movie that I had seen. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. I'll have to search it because I can't remember the name of it. But this girl was completely deaf and she was being stalked by somebody but couldn't hear them. And just the entire movie, it gives me chills to just even imagine not even being in her position, but just in general, not knowing that you're somebody's prey or somebody's victim, so to speak, and you have no idea. That is so creepy. But I want to know from you guys, which one of these three freaked you out the most? Do you have a Home Alone terrifying story that you want to share with us? If you're comfortable, definitely let me know all of this down in the comments section below. And those are our 3 terrifying Home Alone encounters. If you guys want me to continue this series, definitely let me know. It freaks me out. I will say that. It definitely freaks me out. But that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you enjoy my content, I would love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. I am uploading every single day this month, and while I know a ton of creators are, I would love it if you would join me as well for the remainder of this month. Also, please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until tomorrow, I love you.